Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, Pak Dino and FBCI. I would like to ask a question, Mr. President. You have repeatedly said that you want to meet Russian President Vladimir Putin for talks on peace deal. But we have heard that top officials in your administration and military have recently showed less willingness to concede anything with Russia in negotiations. So are you still hopeful about meeting Putin and reaching a deal?
Thank you. Now, third question from Pak Muhaimin Iskandar from Partai Kebangkitan Bangsa PKB. Pak Muhaimin.
Yes. I am Muhaimin Iskandar, Vice Speaker of Parliament of Republic Indonesia. How is the current situation of refugees? How does the Ukrainian government handle it? How do the involvement of NATO and other EU country regarding the problem of refugees? How far they prepare to provide support for their well-being?
Thank you. President Zelensky.
Thank you so much. With your permission, I will change the order of my responses to your questions, and we'll start with the last one. Not because of its priority, but because of the logic of my response. In general, you know, the situation we have is quite challenging as regards the government, the national leadership. We have lots of industrial sectors ruined by bombardment. We practically have our oil refineries purposefully destroyed by Russia with missile strikes, numerous missile strikes. They've spent lots of days to completely flatten it because they wanted us to go deep into energy crisis. Parallel to that, Russia has invaded a nuclear power station. I think you know about that or read about that. And this constitutes a great danger of potential explosion at one of nuclear power units. That's a big NPP, 6 power generating units on the Zaporizhzhia NPP. You may compare it to Chernobyl. Everyone heard about Chernobyl, and the situation there was related to just one generating unit. And we have 6-1 at this Zaporizhzhia. So how the government tackles these challenges? You know, we have $5 billion monthly deficit of the national budget. Because of no revenues, because of businesses again stalled, many enterprises being ruined. And from here, I come to the question how the EU and even the world is assisting us to solve the refugee problem. So the way to compensate for 5 billion loss, and this includes social benefits, retirement benefits, lots of liabilities involved, because you know how many government payments have to go from the budget, and these are tied to budget revenues. So this is the key amount that we are helped in by the EU. We also have bilateral relations with other countries, not members of the EU, like the United States, Canada, Australia, our true partners, financial institutions like the International Monetary Fund and others. And this is a big part of the work. We also have lots of people supporting us and our IDPs, either individually or via organizations. You understand that we are talking about great numbers. The total number of displaced people stands at about 12 million individuals. Of them, about 5 to 5.5 million had to flee abroad. And those people staying abroad, they are helped greatly by the host countries and people at those host countries. Again, this is the majority of EU member states. And our IDPs are being accepted there, even not like guests, but like relatives, like someone close to them. And I think that without their help, without the help of the EU, it would be quite a challenge for us to solve this humanitarian crisis. I think that probably we might cope, just probably, because we are so willing to struggle. But again, it would be a huge challenge, and I cannot thank them enough, those people, ordinary people and governments of our friendly countries, for their support. And this really contributes to our people having this will to live further and struggle further. As regards the ongoing crisis, we understand that as soon as economy rebounds, many people will return. 95 people who had to leave the country have expressed their will to return to the country as soon as possible. But this will definitely depend on whether we are going to still have artillery strikes of our city, whether the Russian Federation will continue using missiles, cruise missiles, air jets, with phosphorus bombs and other prohibited weapons to plunder our towns. And literally, we've had thousands of such strikes in 3 months. I can tell you that not a single other country have ever survived that type of massive onslaught. This is the kind of neighbors we have. And I mean that we have to continue living beside them. From here, prospects of meeting with the Russian president, the only reason for it is for our country to return to peaceful life, to avoid international food crisis that is unfolding right now. And it might really happen because of those port blocks. And those ports in the Black, in the Azov Sea, are completely blocked by the Russian Federation now. So there are things to discuss with the Russian leader. I'm not telling you that our people are too eager to talk to him, but we have to face the realities that we have to live through, and we will have to live through. So what do we want from this meeting, you asked? We all want just to have ours returned. We want our lives back, our normal life back. And we want to live, not just to exist. We want to reclaim back this life of a sovereign country within its own territory. Speaking about potential compromise with the Russian Federation, let me ask you like this. What is the bottom line for you to keep your own country independent? I mean, as soon as you answer this question yourself, you will understand our bottom line. We all want to live in our own country. We don't need anyone's territory. We don't want anything from anyone. We are not going to wage war onto other countries' lands. We want to live peacefully in our own land without, any particular conditions for that. These concerning prospects of negotiations, but again, I'd like to repeat it that for 3 years, I tried several formats in different territories, in different parts of the world to offer negotiations with the Russian president. With just one reason, I do want to sit at the negotiations table with them to quit this situation of crisis, of human life loss. I want to agree about peace on our land.